Has Mac been unfairly criticized?
Of course. He's been unfairly handled, unfairly criticized, unfairly judged. It's been a mess. When Mac Jones was drafted in New England, it was like, oh, man, he's going to the best place possible. In 3 years, it's one of the worst places possible. And everyone's like, well, Mac Jones stinks. Mac Jones can't play. Mac Jones doesn't anticipate. Mac Jones can't have accuracy. Mac Jones doesn't go through progressions. Yeah, yes, he does. He absolutely does. His second year in the NFL, he had a defensive coordinator calling plays with bad talent around him. This year, he's got bad talent around him, not nearly as good as the people that we talk about on a consistent basis. Josh Allen's got way more. Zach Wilson's got way more. Tua Tagovailoa's got way more. Trevor Lawrence has got way more. Deshaun Watson has way more. Lamar Jackson, who was unbelievable yet. All these guys have so much more talent, and he's got a bad offensive line. But we want these guys to play, we want Mac Jones to play like, oh, where's their third-year leap? With what? With who? And then all of a sudden, there's a little rhythm in their offense yesterday. A guy makes a play or two. Douglas makes a couple plays downfield with the ball in his hands, and all of a sudden, Mac Jones beats the Buffalo Bills. Oh, maybe he could play a little bit. So it's what's been done to Mac Jones is a joke. I'm not sitting here telling everybody he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's still going to has the chance to be a good player in this league. Really good player, quarterback.
Go ahead,
Well,
Shannon.
Dio, if you want to say he was mishandled, I'd give you that. Mac Jones has been bad this year. Let's just call it what it is. Now, all those reasons, that's fine. But Mac Jones has been bad. He's been a part. Now, and Gesicki said, well, all the talking, your coach pulled him twice. Don't get mad. The media didn't pull him. I didn't pull him. Dio didn't pull him. Stephen A didn't pull him. Your coach benched him because he was playing bad. Dan, he was playing bad. It's okay to say, you know what? Mac Jones has been playing bad, but he played really, really well yesterday. And first of all, in a situation like that, Dio, you never let a guy inside. Defenders, will you please stop letting an offensive player cross your face? If you let the guy continuously cross your face, bad things are going to happen. And that's what Sean McDermott, when the camera panned to him, he's like, God dang it, we let him inside. No, don't let him inside. But Mac Jones has been bad this year. Yesterday, he played really well. End of story.
Let me say this, Shannon. I agree with Dio on this one. You're right in terms of Mac Jones playing bad, but there's a reason he's been playing bad.
Yes.
Part of it is the personnel he's got playing beside him. Now, yesterday was a bit different. I mean, when you saw Bill O'Brien, creativity has to be the order of the day.
Yes.
He was utilizing motion. I think he utilized motion on about 73% of the plays. We got to give him credit for that, okay? Called more play action, where Mac Jones completed 6 or 8 passes for 95 yards and obviously used RPO. So we got to take that into consideration as well. The reason why that's being brought up is because they were lamenting the fact that hadn't been utilized enough in the first few games of the season. This is his third stint with a different offensive coordinator in as many years in the league.
Yeah.
Then we got to get into Bill Belichick, the GM, not the coach, the GM. The GM who has drafted a grand total of 2 Pro Bowlers since 2012.
Yes.
One's a punter and one is a kick returner and punt returner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to make sure I got this right. There's a quarterback, right? And Shannon, Dio, right?
Yes.
Nod your head. There's a quarterback position, right? You got your offensive linemen, tackles, guards, etc. You got all that, right? You got wide receivers, right? You got tight ends, right? And then on the defensive side of the ball, you got the defensive linemen, defensive end. You got linebackers. You got safeties. Okay, you got cornerbacks. All these positions. And this man that has been running this franchise has produced 2 Pro Bowlers in a decade. One's a punter, and the other is a punt and a kick returner. That is it. That is disgraceful. And so when we look at it from that perspective, I got to look at Mac Jones and the kind of situation, the most egregious thing, Shannon, the most egregious thing, where you got to throw because we were lamenting this last year. We were talking about how you've derailed his progress. When Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are your offensive coordinators last year, okay? You cost this man a year of development. That's how I'm looking at it. And that's why I say he's taking too much heat. He's been unfairly criticized.
I'm giving it to you guys. He's been mishandled. Yes, he played well his rookie season, and then you bring 2 guys that's never called plays on the offensive side as his offensive coordinators. But I can't overlook 7 touchdowns, 7 picks, 2 fumbles, and the 23rd ranked QBR. And you guys making it seem like, hold on, if you get receivers, let's just say for the sake of argument, you get receivers, you get Devontae Adams, you get guys that want the balls. the Patriots have to draft a certain type of player because you have to be egoless. Because you can't check your ego at the door. You have to leave your ego at home. Because if you check it at the door, you might run back and get it during the lunch break. So, Coach Belichick, there's only a certain type of player that can play in New England. So we have to look at the type of players that they're getting. What are the top 10, top 15 players you think going to go in there and all of a sudden catch 2 passes and be okay with that?
That's real. Listen, Shannon, I would say there's 2 quarterbacks on the planet that might be playing good in New England this year. One plays in Kansas City and one plays in Baltimore. I don't think anybody else would be playing good this year in New England. They have the worst pass-protecting offensive line, and they have the least separation by guys. So I have said this. This is not a knock on the other starters. It's not. If Mac Jones was in San Francisco, he would be playing significantly better than he is now. If Mac Jones was in Detroit, he would be playing significantly better than he is. If he was in Miami, we would be talking about Mac Jones, maybe not to the level that we're talking about a Brock Purdy as an MVP candidate and a Jared Goff as an MVP and a Tua as an MVP, but he wouldn't be far off. He's got the same scout talent and skill set. He sees it before it happens. He's got great anticipation. He throws to windows. He's got really good ball placement. Very smart. Great processor.
So it's the talent around him, is what you're saying.
It has to be. I have said
You're not
this.
putting it on coaching, right?
No, Bill O'Brien, to Stephen A's point, I love the fact that Stephen A brought up the play action. That hasn't been enough. I said this the other day, and I think this young man played well yesterday, Desmond Ridder. They're the fascinating case study for me because Desmond Ridder is a guy that has a lot of people around him to play at a really high level, and he's got peaks and valleys.